Webcast, streamed from our brains to our mouths, to your ears, to your brain. It's like our brains are holding hands. Brain hands. That doesn't really make sense, but Tech Webcast does. Tech stuff, gadgets, games. Come and wander around geek heaven with us. Tech Webcast, here, now, holding brain hands.
And welcome to episode 290 of the Tech Webcast podcast, recorded on the 31st of May 2014. Tech Webcast is recorded every Saturday at 12 p.m. Please rate us on iTunes and like us at facebook.com/techwebcast. Your hosts today are Brad, Andrew, Steve, Jacob, Jody, Jen, and a special guest host, Kevin Perry from Nelby.com. And our special guest today is John Gotts, here to talk to us about Chumly.com.
And also Hanna Silver.
And we also have Hanna Silver on today, which is fantastic. She's going to run through and sing for us, and looking forward to that.
Yeah. Andrew, how are you, mate? How's your week been?
Yeah, I'm doing really well, Brad. Thanks for that. Yeah, it's been a busy week as always. We're working through a number of things at work and at home, and a new baby in the house. Miles is keeping myself and Mum very busy.
Good stuff, mate. Always fun, always fun. We've got a giveaway to announce from Foxtel.
Yeah, Brad, we've David, I think it is, from Foxtel, has pushed through a couple of accounts for us. So we have a giveaway today. If anyone wants a 1 month free Foxtel subscription, that's the Foxtel Play, so through your computer. All you've got to do is shoot through to us a tweet to Tech Webcast and tell us what show you'd like to watch on Foxtel with that. So that's a 1 month free account. We've got 2 of those to give away. You will need to supply a credit card, though, and then disconnect at the end of the month if you don't want to keep going. But that's a fully free account for 1 month. So just send a tweet through Tech Webcast, and we'll send out those a couple of accounts.
Yep, definitely. So that should be good, and hope whoever wins. We'll announce the winner next week, right, Andrew?
Yeah, that's right. We'll next week. So whoever pushes through, just send us a tweet and have a look at it. And you do need to be an Australian resident.
Yep.
And we'll send a tweet back and tell us what you think of the Foxtel Play service. We quite like Foxtel here on the show, and they've been friends of ours for a while. So thank you to David from Foxtel for setting that up.
Yep, and thanks Foxtel for supplying the that giveaway. We got Kevin Perry on. Welcome, Kevin. How are you, mate?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Thank you, Brad. Good to join you all.
Good to have you on, mate. Good to have you on. We have Jacob back on. Welcome, Jacob. You're not talking.
Jacob or John?
Yep.
Jacob. I said Jacob.
Sorry,
Okay.
Brad. I had my mic muted.
Please don't mute your mic, Jacob, when I'm talking to you, mate.
Rookie mistake, Jacob. Rookie mistake.
Yeah. Are you a professional or not, mate? We've got John Gotts on. Welcome, John.
I am.
Hola.
Good to have you on, buddy. Jennifer, welcome.
Hey there, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. We have got Steve on. Welcome, Steve.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, mate. And we also have Hanna on. Welcome, Hanna.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's cool. We're good to have you on. You're going to sing soon.
Yay.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I'll try. Yeah.
Be fun. Who else? Did I miss anyone else? Andrew? No, I didn't.
Jody.
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 Welcome, Jody. Hello, Jody. How's your week been?
Last but not least.
Yes.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Jody. Have you been well, Jody?
Yeah, busy with dog stuff. She did great last weekend. She took what's called a group 4 in owner handler, which was awesome. She beat out a bunch of other dogs. And then she also took a group 2 in the puppy class. And we have another dog show again tomorrow. So, yeah, keep your fingers crossed. Everybody send positive vibes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Now, Andrew, WWDC is on Tuesday.
Yes, it is. So we'll hopefully be finding out a whole lot about where technology, where iOS is headed. So I'm really looking forward to that. And you're one of those crazy people in the Southern Hemisphere, Brad, who wakes up nice and early to have a look at that.
Yes, mate. I'll be awake at 3 a.m. What do you think they'll announce there?
Look, I'm really not sure. I have to admit I haven't really kept up with things. I'm really hoping to learn more about the iPhone 6, but I don't think that will probably be on the agenda. So not I'm open to hearing what they're going to do. I think it should be good.
I know iOS will be announced there on Tuesday. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, of course. So it'd be interesting to see if there's any developments or where iOS is going. I think there was a huge jump, obviously, to iOS 7. Haven't heard so much about iOS 8, but it'll be good.
It should be good. I've seen some screenshots of it with these widgets and stuff, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. So it should be good. So that's about 3 a.m. Is it, Brad? Local
Yeah,
time.
3 a.m. our time. Yeah, I can watch it on the Apple TV and that sort of good stuff. So it
Good.
should be fun. Jennifer, what about you? What's your prediction for the keynote on Tuesday?
Oh, well, just like everyone else, that iOS 8 will be coming out or will be announced. So looking forward to that. And gosh, I really don't know. It's, I don't think they would announce a new iPhone at this point. They don't do that until the fall, right? Or until later on. So, yeah. So we'll see.
Maybe some new Macs or iMacs and stuff.
Perhaps.
Hopefully.
That'd be nice.
What about you, John? What's your view on all this? And
Home entertainment. I mean, that's what they're saying in the news, that Apple wants to take over your home next.
Yeah.
So I looked at the Nest thermostat that Google just recalled, and I have to imagine it's going to be something where Apple is going to start taking over your home, whether it's television or not, who knows? But yeah, that's what they're saying.
Maybe a new Apple TV, hopefully.
Maybe you meant Nest Protect. You meant.
Yeah, Nest Protect. Thanks.
Oh,
yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, they recalled those or whatever, but evidently the big guys are trying to get into our houses now, not just in our pockets. So we'll see.
Okay. Jody, what about you?
Well, I think some interesting developments this week with what is it? The headphones.
Beats.
Oh, Beats.
Yeah.
Beats.
Thank you. Yeah.
Beats headphones.
So Google kind of started with this eyeglass concept, maybe something to do with audio and sound around houses. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hannah's. I'm really tired, so.
Okay. All right.
But I can't do that.
Steve, what about you? What's your view on this? What's your prediction, mate, for the keynote?
For the keynote, supposedly they're going to have some kind of hardware, iOS 8. I know for sure it's going to be Mac OS 10.10, I believe.
Yep, that is correct.
Supposed to come
Have you
in
had
that.
some of the names, Steve, that may be named for that?
Names? What do you mean?
Yes, names, yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure what you mean. What do you mean by?
For the operating system.
I didn't even think about that. But I'm going to try to
Got to
watch.
be like Jungle Gorilla, right?
Yeah, who knows?
There's Sienna.
Yeah,
You
Sienna.
mean to
That's
to
it.
replace Maverick?
Yeah, to replace. There should be a new name, but
What about Goose?
No.
There you go. Iceman.
Iceman. Goose. Maverick.
Look at the notes here. It's saying no new Mac, no new iPhone, no new iPad. Beats purchase will be announced. Smart home will be the big deal. iOS 8 health book.
Yep.
And
The
that's
thing,
it.
the thing with Beats,
And
they
1010.
keep saying, why does Apple want to buy Beats? I think it's almost obvious. It's an existing brand that's ready to go. It's shiny. The fact that it's a crappy headset doesn't matter because, Apple have the tech to make it a
They'll
10
fix it.
times better headset overnight. Creating tech is not a problem for a company like Apple. It's all about brand. Creating brands is a lot harder than creating tech.
yeah, definitely.
That's right.
Kev,
I think it also fits right in with what Apple does, which is make things look great and have hype around them.
Mhm.
And then whether they're actually good doesn't matter because everyone loves them.
yeah,
Exactly.
That was great. Kevin, what about you? What's your view on this, mate?
Oh, look, there's lots of products that need updating from Apple. Certainly the Apple TV is one that hasn't been updated for about 2.5 years. That piece of hardware has not been updated, and you'd love to see an app store come along to go with the Apple TV. I get a feeling that that's just not what Apple has intended for the Apple TV, but no, you'd love to see an app store for that.
Definitely. Have you got Kevin?
Yeah, I was just looking for an article about all the things that are supposed to be announced, like Health Book. That's an application that personally I could not care less about, but yet that's supposedly going to be the big announcement next week.
Yep.
Look, I personally wish Apple would just stick with the hardware and stay away from software. It's not their wheelhouse. It's not what they do well. But
Right.
we saw it 2 years ago. They announced Passbook. and really haven't done a
I don't
thing with
even
it
use
since.
that. I don't even use
No,
that.
Yeah.
well, they've never developed it. They haven't done a thing with it in 2 years,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I have a feeling that
useless.
Health will be the same.
It is definitely. Kevin, do you have an Apple TV, or are you an Apple fan?
I've got a couple of Apple TVs in his house. I've got a couple of Rokus and
Nice.
other different things. But yeah, it'd be great to see an upgrade there.
Yeah,
The other one I'd love to see updated is the Mac Mini. That
Oh, yeah,
hasn't been
Mac-
updated
yeah.
for a while.
It would be good.
I've got a couple of Mac Minis in this house, and I love them. And I'd love to see that upgrade to the Haswell chip.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. Sounds good. The news, Andrew. The news.
The news.
So
Okay, Jody and Jennifer, I'll handball the news.
I need to play this.
What's been happening this week in tech, ladies?
Hang on, Andrew. I need to play.
Oh, you've got something.
That sounds really warm.
Wow. After
With the
that,
bigger high
that was
tech.
good.
That's
Yeah,
a
okay,
nice,
go ahead,
nice news intro.
Thanks, to
Yes.
Jack, by the way, for that.
So, thanks, Jacob.
You're welcome.
In the news, coming from our first story tonight, is coming from gizmodo.com.au. And it's about Spotify. The Spotify Australia boss is saying that they are successfully fighting music piracy. Contrary to the insistence of media and analysts, music piracy in Australia is not endemic, and streaming music services have contributed to stemming that flow. That's the claim by Spotify Australian chief Kate Vale, whose company is finishing up a project on Spotify's impact on Australian piracy. Speaking to the Australian Financial Review, Vale hit back at claims from APRA-AMCOS analyst, I'm not sure how to say that, I guess AMCOS, analyst Andrew Harris, that despite availability and ubiquity of music streaming services, piracy levels had not dropped in recent years. She said that Spotify's anecdotal evidence separately from the project that the company is undertaking to demonstrate that in 2 years' experience in Australia was that even the teenager demographic who has never bought music before are contributing to musicians' royalties and industry wages through their use of Spotify's free tier. So the claim is that piracy overall has gone down, and Spotify is helping fight that. And next story, off to you, Jody.
Okay, so we kind of already discussed it a little bit, but big news, Apple just bought Beats. And I guess there's a lot of conjecture, people wondering, okay, why would Apple do this? Well, keep in mind that Apple had iTunes, and iTunes has kind of been slacking off a little bit. Well, you've got Beats by Dr. Dre, which is a company founded in 2008, and it's grown into a spectacularly huge business, moved more than $1 billion in sales last year. And Dr. Dre and Jimmy Levine are no lightweights. They know their way around the music industry. Pretty much everything they put their mind to has been success. And I guess who really cares what they're up to? The fact that they're bringing these two big celebrities with their entrepreneurial talents to Apple should be a very, very interesting situation. So, and back to you, Jen.
Thanks, Jody. Coming from the telecom papers, telecompaper.com. They're talking about QuickFlix. QuickFlix is developing an app. Woohoo! And this one's going to be for the Google Chromecast. QuickFlix is the Australian DVD rental and online movie company, and they are in their final phase of development of testing a Google Chromecast app. The firm said that the app will be available for Android and iOS, and QuickFlix also confirmed that it expects to be amongst the first online video and streaming services provider, among the first available on the Google Chromecast, which is a streaming TV media device by Google. QuickFlix offers subscriptions to a selection of movies and TV shows developed, in Australia for $9.99 a month. And they have platforms over a wide range of TVs, game consoles, Blu-ray players, desktops, laptop, mobiles, tablets, and other devices. And so now we are to expect an app for the Google Chromecast. And back to you, Jody.
Okay, so you're going on vacation, you're taking a trip, and you want to take that TV show with you. And up to recently, if you don't have internet access, Well, that would be a dilemma. However, Simple.tv has a streaming DVR. It's handy. You can catch up on shows while on the road. It's not a big issue because following an update to their Android, iOS, and web apps, you can now send both live and recorded TV to a Chromecast so that big screen experience follows you outside of the home. So now if you travel to a place where internet access isn't guaranteed, you won't be deprived of viewing material. Woohoo! And back to you, Jen.
Speaking about viewing, we have some more viewing news. Presto, in their latest press release, is set to take the big screen. Coming in July, Presto on Google Chromecast, featuring recent movies and TV classic hits, and they will be debuting on Android devices. Now, Presto is Australia's premier entertainment streaming service, and today signaled that it's moving into the Australian living rooms with an upcoming availability on the Google Chromecast. This follows Google's announcement that Chromecast will be on sale in Australia, which I believe some of the people on the show have already purchased a Chromecast in Australia. And back to you, Jody.
Okay, well, there are all kinds of people who are complaining because apparently in Australia, several of the Apple devices have been hijacked and held for ransom. Owners of Apple devices across Australia are having them digitally held ransom by hijackers who are demanding payment before they relinquish control. Now, we had a spatter of something here in the United States that affected Windows machines, but this apparently is affecting iPad, iPhone, and Mac owners throughout Queensland, Western Australia, South Australia, and Victoria. Evidently, they're being told that they have to make a $50 payment to a PayPal account to have their phone unlocked. It's likely that the hackers are using an unusual name. The name is Oleg Pliss. He's actually a software engineer at tech company Oracle. And they're getting a message that says that their phone has been hijacked and they have to pay the money. I guess the question is really if they pay the money, sometimes it's $50, sometimes it's $100, whether in fact they get the phone unhacked. Is that the word? So we're seeking some comment from Apple. We haven't had any word from them yet, but apparently it's something to be aware of. Back to you, Jen.
That's a bad story there. So YouTube is, there's actually a quality report that's out, and it pits your ISP against others. So if you are wondering how good your streaming is for your ISP compared to others in your area, Google's new video quality report can show you. If you head to the site and your area is covered, you'll learn whether your ISP delivers smooth, high-def playback for YouTube most of the time or not. The chart shows streaming quality, lower def, under 360p, standard 360p, 720p for regular HD by the hour. So you can check out the stats for nearby service providers, and unfortunately, average actual streaming speeds by ISP are not provided. And back to you, Jody.
Bad news, gamers. Mythic Entertainment, the longtime video game studio, most recently came out with Warhammer Online and Dungeon Keeper, closing their doors. Apparently, despite being fairly successful, they developed Dark Age of Camelot, a number of other fairly popular online games, including Mud Dragon's Gate. They're just not cutting it, so goodbye. Bye, Mythic. Back to you, Jen.
Poor Mythic. I've never even heard of them.
It's very popular.
That's why they're closing, right?
I guess so. That's right. That's why they're closing.
Everyone's like,
who? I know. Yeah, we're all so sad. So, according to neowin.net, there's new tech that is going to shrink laptop power bricks to a quarter of its current size. An MIT spin-out company called Fin6 has developed a power adapter designed for laptops that's 25% smaller than its currently used units. The tech has been shrunk by using a novel method of utilizing a very high frequency power conversion that means that the adapter can transfer power through to the battery over 1,000 times faster. And back to you, Jody.
Well, WWDC, and that's not JC, that's DC. So what will Apple do? Despite Apple CEO Tim Cook teasing that Apple would introduce new products all across 2014, so far this year, the company has released a cheaper version of the iPhone 5C, marginally faster MacBook Airs, and a fourth generation iPad at a lower price. So nothing kind of revolutionary or sterling yet, but on Monday, June 2nd, there's hope. Apple's going to make major announcements that'll indicate the immediate future of two major platforms, iOS and iOS X. And they'll share details behind the changes in iOS 8, a redesigned Mac operating system, and perhaps, if we're lucky, please pray, maybe even new hardware.
Yes.
And that's the news.
Great stuff, girl. Good on you to fill in the news. Jody and Jennifer, well done.
Thank you, Brad.
And do you agree, Andrew? Good job, mate. Do you reckon? Good job.
Yeah,
Good
fantastic
job.
work.
Yes,
Fantastic work as
Good
always.
job.
Some really good news articles there,
Yes, indeed.
ladies. So thank you for that.
Let's go to Kevin Perry first and get his view on these stories. Kevin, what do you reckon?
Oh, well, there's so much there. Yeah, well, firstly, I guess Chromecast coming to Australia. That's you had your guest Stephen Langford on the show last week from QuickFlex. He was you asked him about the Chromecast, and he held his cards close to his chest. I noticed when I was watching it, but no, the big secret was revealed Wednesday that in fact QuickFlex is on the Chromecast. It's there right now. They're the launch partner.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's interesting. Chromecast. It's I honestly wouldn't recommend it for Australians at the moment. There's just not quite enough stuff on it. I don't think You've got Presto, which we had a news story about Presto. That's their Foxtel's movie streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
Look, honestly, I think Presto for the price, it's just not good value.
I agree. I think you get all that on your normal Foxtel, and you can get the Foxtel Go, which is probably better quality.
Mm-hmm. The other news story you had today was about Spotify, and Spotify trying to claim credit for ending piracy, and that's a bit rich, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I think music piracy was well on the way down just due to iTunes and services like that. And for Spotify to try and claim credit that they're the ones ending music piracy, when in reality, Spotify, they pay artists like 0.1 cent in a dollar for every play. So for Spotify to be trying to hold themselves up there as some great saviour of the music industry is just a joke, really. Right. What other stories have we got? EA shutting down Mythic. Look, all I'll say is that if you buy a product from EA, expect to get about a year out of it. That's sort of the typical standard of EA. If you're any sort of cloud service or anything based on EA, about a year, and then they'll kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you use Spotify, Kevin?
I've certainly tested it, but I find for myself that there's just not quite the range of music there that I want. And at the end of the day, I prefer to own my own music and have full control over my playlist. I'm one of these anal people that have spent years setting up their own playlists in iTunes and things like that. And so to change services now to something else, that's just I haven't quite made that jump yet.
Yeah. That's what Vincent Brown's done. He's done the same thing what you've done. He's done all that sort of stuff. He does his own music and that. Quite enjoys it on iTunes. Jacob, what about you? Do you have a view on them stories?
Well, I don't like what's happening with the iPhone stuff with them taking them over for ransom and stuff like that.
Crazy, mate, crazy. Andrew, did you change your password? Anyone here? Hannah, did you change your password?
For which? For eBay?
No, for this hack stuff.
Have I been listening?
Yeah, for the hacking stuff.
For this hack? No. I changed my eBay password because they had problems.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just do what I'm told. Should I change my password? I'll change it.
You should. Yeah, you should. For the iTunes now. Yeah.
You should enable two-factor authentication or two-factor definitely.
Yeah. And
I didn't know they had that in iTunes.
Yeah, you have to go to the
for on your Apple ID.
Yeah, on your Apple ID.
I didn't know that. Thank you. I learned so much on this show.
And you have to set up a secret question too. That comes in handy too.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go to John. What about you, mate?
Yeah, I don't know. Of all those things that you guys talked about, I guess the Apple event is going to be the big deal. And it's interesting. They haven't put out any hardware, but did you all read that article recently saying that one of their guys said it's the best product pipeline in 25 years? That's pretty heavy language. Yeah, let me just pull that back up. But yeah, they said that we can expect tremendous stuff from Apple. I'll just pull it up right here. And so although we're nailing them to the board right now saying they haven't put anything out, here it is. Recode put this out. And it said, CodeCon yesterday, Apple's Senior Vice President Eddie Q dropped the bomb that's been repeated and retweeted around the internet. Later this year, we've got the best product pipeline that I've seen in my 25 years at Apple. Wow. Considering they've got 3 category-killing products out there, that's saying a lot. So I'm excited, actually.
Yeah.
I'm excited looking forward this year.
Same. I can't wait. Can't wait to see it. Let's go to Steve. What about you?
Are you talking about the Apple?
The news, mate. Do you have any views on the news story?
Yeah, a couple things here. I think it was Google and the report, I guess, with the best ISPs for streaming YouTube and other sites. Netflix has been doing this for a while, so they're kind of doing it also. And of course, with the net neutrality and I guess Comcast. Netflix giving Comcast additional funds to be able to stream without any problems to their viewers as far as rebuffing. So I kind of think that's why Google's doing this, is to, showing the different ISPs which is better and things like that.
Okay. Any other thing mention?
Yeah, just
Steve? Anything else, Steve? You want to mention?
Let me see. With the bricks, the brick power supplies getting smaller. We're kind of seeing that now. I know with the Apple TV, they finally integrated the power supply with the Apple TV. Myself, I know that I have several devices and the bricks are pretty big. I don't know. It just depends if they're going to integrate it into the device. You got to think about things like heat. And is it going to be too much power? Because I'm afraid maybe these things might actually catch fire if it's not done correctly. But I'm all for at least reducing or possibly integrating it if they do it safely.
Okay. Good answer, Steve. Jennifer, do you have any views on them stories?
Yeah, actually, I am. I kind of like that the Google video report story. And so I was just looking mine up just to kind of see how my ISP is and when the best streams are and when the worst streams. So this just kind of like how you would anticipate, starting around 3 p.m., between 3 and 12 a.m., so the afternoon and evening, especially at 9 p.m. is the worst time to view video. The video streaming is the worst, but it's not that bad. It's still decent. So 80%, it says, for HD streams versus at 6 a.m., 91%, and at 91% is the best, and that's all in the middle of the night.
So, what speed do you get, Jennifer, on your internet?
I am averaging 55 down and 6 up.
That's all right. Okay, that's good stuff. Enjoy internet, Jennifer. Jody, what about you? What's your view on these stories?
Well, I'm still kind of disappointed in Apple. I mean, I appreciate what John said, where they feel that it's probably one of their strongest lineups. However, I think we've become accustomed to having them innovate and come out with new products that are amazing. So, it's a little disappointing. It's, marginally increasing what they're doing, but not doing anything innovative at this point. So,
okay.
My 2 cents.
Are you going to be watching Jody on Monday for you? You're going to watch
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But Andrew, are you going to be back at 3 a.m. or are you going to be asleep?
Really, it depends, Brad, on how I feel at the time. I mean, I'll probably be up early to work, so I'll probably just watch the replay when I get to work with a coffee, and have a look at what they've been on about. But it's interesting when they talk about a 25-year pipeline, and where that goes. I mean, you're talking about a company who released, iPod, iPhone, iPad, best pipeline for 25 years, and I wonder if that's got anything to do with their plans for Beats and the music streaming, and with that Beats acquisition, whether or not they actually get the services of of Dre for the next, however many years, or just is it sort of an acqui-hire as well as a company purchase? Because there could be value in that, as I think Jody was saying during the news, you've got someone there who has a really sophisticated knowledge of the music industry.
Okay.
So it could be an interesting one.
Well, they're saying it's not new music coming out now, right? I mean, aren't they saying that they're at a record low number of musicians uploading new content to iTunes? So I see the Dre and Levine play really just what you said, Andrew, going after new talent and attracting that new talent to Apple.
Correct.
That's correct. Okay, Hanna Silver is here to sing and talk about what she's up to. Hanna, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
No problem. What have you been up to?
I have been extremely busy. I put out a new music video for my song called Crab Dancers,
Nice.
which has been accepted with look, I just should have known better. I should have warned myself before I put it on YouTube that the YouTube trolls wouldn't take it very well, because it's not normal. I'm not normal, and people on YouTube don't like normal. So that was interesting. Having said that, so many people have been supportive and love the video, which has made me feel better. And I think I need another coffee.
It's a great, well done video. It's a good video.
Thank you. I'm very proud of it. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun shooting it.
Do you have the crab claws with you right now? Oh, okay, go ahead.
The crab claws are in the other room. I could go grab them if you want.
Go ahead. I just want to go to Andrew for a minute. I just want to ask him about the video. Have you seen the video at all, Andrew? What's your view on this?
Yeah, I did. It was a whole lot of fun, and for those that don't know, there were a number of people who on YouTube who didn't like it. I thought it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's meant to be a bit creative, a bit fun, a bit silly. Everything's sort of all wound into one.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that someone's out there expressing themselves, being a bit fun, a bit creative, we should embrace that. It's
Absolutely.
Do we really want blonde bimbos churning out silly music that's run through, equalizers? Let's just have fun. That's what it should be about. That's what life should be about. So seeing negative review, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely. Steve, have you got Hanna on the video at the moment?
No. Here we're gonna switch. Wait a minute. I see she's got crab claws.
Yeah, please put that on video, mate.
Claws are out.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they are
And it was
They're
incredibly
amazing.
creative, and you're very courageous to put it out there.
They're colossal.
Absolutely.
These crab claws were made for me by Josh Spiegel, who is an amazing guy, master craftsman of cardboard. These are made of cardboard, and that's
Cool.
it. Check it out.
Do you have
Wow.
do you have butter
Those are
sauce to go with
amazing.
that?
Yeah, right.
Have what?
I said, do you have butter sauce to go with that?
Yeah, butter
Crab claws?
Yeah, no. I don't eat crab.
All right, let's head to the music then, Hanna. And
Okay.
what's the song called you're gonna play?
The song, I'm actually going to sing a song called Nobody Likes Me by the Peddlers. And it's a song that my DJ friend Spanky Hazard sent to me. And it's just a good, fun song. And aside from liking it, I just also thought it was kind of relevant because after I put the Crab Dancers video up, I just had some negative feedback for being weird. So I hope you enjoy it. I am just going to fiddle around with my headphones for one moment.
Go ahead. Okay. All right. And okay. Well, let's wait for Hanna to.
Is there anything worse than YouTube comments, by the way?
Seriously.
Pretty well like
All right.
the most
They're
bottom
just
rung of the
trolls.
internet.
They're just
Yeah, it
trolls. They
is.
hang out there to hurt people's feelings.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
And I mean, even since the
Say something
introduction
about
of Google Plus and the real identities into YouTube comments, it really hasn't improved it that much. It's just a part of the
Okay,
internet.
Hannah,
It's
I'm just gonna.
not watching.
Do you use Google Plus a lot? Do you, Kevin, or do you use?
A little bit, yeah. I post all the content from my site onto Google Plus,
Okay,
and
good.
yeah, it's starting to build a bit of traffic. So
All right. Let's go to Hanna.
Okay, Hannah, it's on you.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, everyone seems to have stopped talking, so I think it's my turn. All right, thumbs up,
Yep.
because I can't.
Action.
All right. I ain't got nothing to be happy about. I ain't got a penny to my name. The whole darn world keeps picking on me. Day in, day out, it's the same. Nobody likes me, I don't know why. Nobody likes me, they just don't try. Nobody likes me the way I am. Nobody likes me, and I couldn't give a damn. I can get a parking fine without a car, and that's the way it goes. People seem to hate the sight of me. I can tell by the faces it shows. Nobody likes me, I don't know why. Nobody likes me, they just don't try. Nobody likes me the way I am. Nobody likes me, and I couldn't give it. I went to a party in a second floor flat. The atmosphere went dead. Then the room emptied in a minute flat and started again in the shed. Nobody likes me, I don't know why. Nobody likes me, they just don't try. Nobody likes me the way I am. Nobody likes me, and I couldn't give a damn.
Yay!
Whoa.
Yay.
Yay, Hanna Silver.
Fantastic.
We like
Ladies
you,
and
Hannah.
gentlemen, the very
Okay,
talented
Bal.
Hanna Silver.
Thanks. Yeah, just
Well
And
done.
I like the crabs too.
thank you. Well, you know, the whole thing was just in the spirit of fun, and so I just thought I'd just keep on having fun, whether you like it or not. But yeah, thank you so much for all of you supporting me and everyone watching and everyone who. I mean, the video clocked up over 3,000 views in 3 days, so there's got to be someone who liked it.
Well, you know, what's fascinating about that is that the more comments you get, the higher you go in the rankings. So even if they're saying something derogatory, it's still boosting you. And then somebody's going to say something positive, and that's how it goes viral. So
Yeah.
power to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yay.
I agree. Definitely.
And where can we hear more of that sort of cool music, Hannah?
Well, what I just sang is actually very unlike. I have real trouble remaining consistent because there's just always different things that I get excited about. So every time I create music, I create it differently. So you can find crab dancers on YouTube. On my YouTube channel, there's a whole lot of different stuff. I'm a pianist, so I also, one of the things I do is I play my own piano versions of ABC, which is Australian Broadcasting Corporation, TV shows, as well as I've made a few of my own videos. My band, the Prince of Seagulls, is currently running a crowdfunding campaign to get our album out on Possible. So that's actually, it's the second album that I'm part of. My band Inverto released a live album a few years ago. Inverto, again, is different. Inverto is space disco and a bit of house. The Prince of Seagulls is sort of like a soundtrack. It's a huge mixture of everything from rock to I've forgotten the word. Like Pink Floyd to Afrobeat, all sorts of things. We just, again, with Prince of Seagulls, couldn't pick a genre, so we just did it all. So if you want to hear more stuff that I've made, I play synthesizer as well. So go to possible.com/TPOS, the Prince of Seagulls.
Nice one. Kevin, what do you think about the music?
Oh, look, I love it. And I'm just looking at your Possible page now. You've already got $724 pledged, so well done on that.
Yes,
That's fantastic.
people are amazing. I'm actually doing something special in 40 minutes. I'm going to be doing a live Google Hangout on air where I'm going to specially do a seagull crab dance to thank our supporters so far. So that's going to be good fun.
In 40 minutes, right?
Yeah, and I love the music video. Can you just talk us through the production of the video? Did you produce it yourself in-house, or how did you go about it?
No, so I had the idea ages ago that I wanted to do a video for crab dancers, and I wanted it to just be me dancing. And I think through talking to people, someone would have said, like, hey, you should have crab claws. And I started looking around for what sort of crab claws could I buy, like costuming, and they were all pretty crappy. And meanwhile, I'm a huge fan of Box Wars, which is what my friend Josh is part of, and I know he's a master craftsman. And so I ended up talking to him, and I said, hey, do you reckon you could make crab claws? And he was like, I'm up for the challenge. And he went to work and made these. Meanwhile, I happened to talk to a friend who does videos, and actually now Edwin Tejos is the director of the film, and it was his idea to do the split screen thing. And I was really taken with the idea, and so then I got a friend of mine, Book Stamp, to choreograph a dance for me, and so I practiced that, and then we just went ahead and shot it, and it was the editing process was a bit complicated, so it took Edwin a while to figure it out, and the first time he sat down to try to edit it all together, he actually had smoke coming out of his computer because it was too much for his computer to handle all that information. So
yeah, I was going to compliment you on this, because that's all those split screen effects. It's just so engaging and so well done. I loved it. So
thanks. Yeah, so that's all Edwin. That was his idea. I just had to do for every box you can see, I had to do a take. So there were some sections where I had to do literally like 40 takes. It was pretty intense.
How long did it take you to do the video, Hannah? How long did it take?
The shooting we shot from like 8 o'clock at night till 1 o'clock in the morning. So that was a big night. We actually shot it in a church, funnily enough, in Enwood's church, because they have a stage there. So we got to use the stage light, smoke machine. And then the editing took a while. And anyway, now it's out.
Okay, go watch it, people. And Jodie, any questions for Hannah?
No, I just want to say.
I think ask Jodie, not you, Jacob. You next.
I have everything from you because my dogs are being crazy in the background. But Hannah, what's your inspiration and why crab claws?
Good question. The song was part of an EP that I put out last year called Let's Visit the Seaside, and I started recording it. I won't get into that. I started recording it with a new technique to approach texture, and I made one track, and someone listened to it and said that really sounds like it could be part of a library music about the seaside, and so I just sort of took that idea and I ran with it. So every track on the EP is something to do with the sea. And so there was this one track that I started recording, and I had this great funky little beat from this Roland drum machine called Rhythm 77 that came out of my friend's garage, my friend's grandmother's garage. And I started recording for it, and I just sort of thought, sounds like dancing. Sounds like crab dancing. And I went on YouTube and I looked up, you can see how my crab claws one is bigger than the other, like a fiddler crab. I went on YouTube and looked up fiddler crab dancing. And if you type that in, there are so many videos of fiddler crabs dancing. It's hilarious. And I watched it and I thought, that's what this song is.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Good stuff, Hannah. Jacob, go ahead. You got a question for Hannah?
No, actually, I just want to say she does the best music.
Oh, she does. Of course she does. Of course she does.
Thanks, Jacob.
Of course she does.
Means
Jennifer, any questions?
No questions. I just want to say you have a lovely voice, and I wish you all the success with because you're about to go on tour, right? Or are you not?
I'm about to go on an internet tour.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were going to go on a regular tour too. No, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, touring.
Well, cool. Good for you.
Yeah, thanks. I was actually quite pleased when I think was it Kevin before who was talking about how Spotify, how it was a bit rich of Spotify claiming responsibility for ending piracy.
Yeah, the lesser piracy.
Because I think he said that they pay artists 0.01 of a cent for streams, but I think in some cases it's more closer to 0.004 of a cent.
Wow.
I'm sure I've seen that somewhere. So I've got some music on Spotify, but I'm very lucky actually that I have generous supporters who had a successful crowdfunding campaign last year. So I love those people forever. And now there's people getting on board the Prince of Seagulls. So I love those people forever. So the best way to support artists you like is give them your money directly.
Yeah, definitely.
And just for our listeners listening in, about a month or so ago, Bette Midler had a tweet which she was talking about. She had 4.1 million airplays of her tracks on Pandora, which ended up equating to a royalty check. 4.1 million song plays came to her in a check for $114.
Damn.
Incredible. Yeah.
You can't live as an artist like that. I mean, it's ridiculous. And, she's someone who's obviously made her successes in the industry. But if you're looking at a new artist, for them to get 4 million plays is impossible. And then for them to try and receive a check for 140, it does not help us to create an industry of new artists. And to be entirely fair, the parents of these talented musicians will be telling them, you know what, kid, go get yourself a job. That is not a way to make music. And how much talent, how much entertainment do we lose as consumers?
Andrew, what's your view on Spotify? You've checked it out yet? I hooked you up with a gift card, mate.
Yeah, I like the idea of it. I just think the model I don't know, the model just doesn't work. I love the idea of it, unlimited music, $10 a month or whatever, or, you run ads through it. The concept is great, but at the end of the day, someone has to sit back and actually work it out and do the math and say, you know what, this isn't working. Is there a better way of doing it?
Yeah, I've always said I like the idea of it, and I do believe that streaming is the future. If only they would pay their artists. That's the only thing. If they paid it, then I'd be like, great, everyone, please use Spotify. It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. John, what about you? Have you any questions for Hannah?
No, but I would just say this, because you started that your speaking tonight talking about the YouTube critics. Excuse me, a little frog in my throat. Have you ever heard Theodore Roosevelt's The Man in the Arena?
No.
Have you ever heard that poem? I'm going to read it real quick. I'm going to read it very fast. This is dated. This thing was written in 1910, so I'm going to use the non-politically correct man instead of person. I'm just going to read it. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory or defeat. Good for you. Keep going.
Yeah, what he said.
Okay?
Thank you.
Trolls, they don't sing.
I know. I told myself actually while I was thinking about, because I knew how I was going to do this song, I was telling myself, don't make a big deal about the trolls, because there's only been a handful of them. They're so vocal, but there's only been a handful. There's been so many supporters. And I always think back to, there was a friend in grade 6 that we had who was not fat, but went around class going, am I fat? Do I look fat? And everyone, of course, had to go, no, you're not fat. And I was like, don't be that person. Don't be that person. So thank you, everyone. But yeah. And that was a great poem. Bravely. Thank you for sharing that poem. That was really awesome.
Thank you, John. That was fantastic.
Cheers.
All right. Anyone
Okay.
else got any other questions for Hannah at all? She needs to head off very shortly to do a show.
Oh,
Thank you, Hannah. It was awesome.
Thank you
Hannah.
so much for having me.
Appreciate your time, Hannah. And
It's fun every time.
it is. It's always fun having you on. And on Wednesday, you'll be on another podcast with me with Dylan Lewis on Wednesday.
Looking forward to
Wait
it.
for that. It's going to be fun.
oh, cool.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
So,
Okay.
so what's,
and
all,
so-
what's all this fuss about Chumly?
Chumly. Yeah, tell us about Chumly, John. Welcome, John.
Sure. Hey, thanks, guys. So for the next month, we're going to be bringing in really, people like yourself, big technology bloggers and that. And we really want to make Chumly the best publishing platform out there to build a brand. Even for her singing, she could use something like this. A business could use something like this, but it's building a brand and it's doing it in a way that is more offense than defense. When I think of Hootsuite, which brings all of your social media in and can also broadcast out, it's really to me more reactionary. It's something comes in and you react to it, where we want to be very proactive. For the last 5 years, we have only worked with senators and House members around the country because we felt there was a great need for them to communicate better with the constituents. Well, now after general elections across the country in 2010, 11, 12, and 13, we won 98% of our 155 House and Senate races each year in those states. And in the last set of primaries that just finished last week, we won 100% of our races in the 3 states that are reported. So clearly it works when you can build a brand and get out there. For now, until June 17th, when I announce on Scoble's talk show, I'm going to have people come in and they can register. You can reserve your username before anyone else gets it. But to put it as simple as I can, because I read an Einstein quote that said, if you can't explain something simply, you don't understand it well enough. The problem is after 5 years, we've built something so incredible, it's hard to consolidate it into something. But imagine being able to send to all the social networks, whether they have 140 character limits, video limits, audio, documents, pictures, you can send anywhere, anything. You can do everything from your phone. So I could take a photo and I can just email it the way you used to be able to do with Posterous and send it to any or all of those. We time the posts so they go out at the very best time of the hour of the day so that it's going to get the very most views. But you can also time it down to the minute, the hour, the day, the week, the month, the year. And that's about it.
Really interesting.
And, that's where someone actually talks and asks a question. John, Andrew, you got a question? Go ahead, Andrew. You want to ask John a question?
Yeah, I was just going to ask. That's really interesting. So this is something that yourself and Bethany have been working on for some time. As far as the project is concerned, how much time and effort has it taken to get to this point? And a little bit more around when are you looking to actually officially sort of launch the platform, really push it through to market?
Yeah, so we calculated put in about 55,000 hours over the last 5 years, working 15 hours a day, almost nonstop for 60 months. And my father and I started in 2009, February. Bethany joined us in March of 2012, immediately dug her heels in and went for it. And so yeah, it's got the hours in it for a 3-man team to put in 55,000 hours. We've been cranking. So as far as launch goes, June 17th, everyone will be able to come in and get their own Chumly account. Until then, you can go to chumly.com and reserve your username.
Mm-hmm. I've just registered myself, so I can't wait for this to launch.
With
my own blog,
you'll get your accounts tonight. All of you will.
Oh, you bet. Fantastic. I know with my own blog, I've had to invent a lot of clued methods myself just to try and create an effect similar to this, just to get my blog posting to all the different various social media forums. So I love the fact that you're taking the work out of it for me. You've pretty well got every service that I'm already using. So that's fantastic. How have you found the funding side of your project? Have you been able to get a lot of support?
We've actually been able to sell this product. We've sold it to, understand that with all of you, I don't have to explain what Twitter is or Facebook or any of those. But when you're dealing with 75-year-old Republican senators, they have no idea what it is. So a great deal of what we did was set up the top 12 social media accounts for them, explain what each of them is, explain why it's important, explain how to use it, and then make it easy enough that they can just take a picture and send it in and be done. Now, this year, we're going in and actually managing social accounts too, but we charge thousands of dollars per customer. So we've been able to self-fund with just 150 clients. Excuse me. However, look at Buffer and Every Post, and these are totally crap products. Sorry, Buffer and Every Post. They just are. I mean,
I'll agree with you.
Okay, but they've each got 1 million users using it free now. And they've both got about 30 to 40,000 paying users at $100 a year, 10 a month. Well, that's 3 to 4 million a year each. And we completely missed this market by dealing with the Luddites instead of the tech savvy. But the fact is, what we're going to release to the public for free dwarfs what you would pay for at Buffer. And what you will pay for with us will be 10 times beyond what you would get with the pro version of Buffer or Every Post. So we're working on that now, and that is a space we want to go into.
It's interesting. People like Gary Vaynerchuk have always said that he firmly believes that if you go to Twitter, you should create a post that's 140 characters. If you go to Facebook, you should create a text with some video. If you go to Google Plus, you should put a small animation sort of thing. What are your thoughts? I mean, I listen to that and I understand and I get it, but then you sort of think to yourself, wow, if I'm running 4 or 5 brands and I have to post the same piece of content 8 different times, you go to Vine, you want it to be a 6-second video. That's a lot of time and effort. What are your thoughts around that? Because obviously that's 8 times the workload. And how do you guys actually, I guess, what's the special sauce that you can tell us anyway, where I can create a piece of content, I can send it via email or SMS as per chumly.com, and that's going to then utilize that piece of information in a way that it's accepted on each platform?
Yeah, so you can also do it from chumly.com, which is right now the largest social network of Republican legislators, but hopefully will fill up with technologists and publishers and businesses and consumers next. So it is a full-blown social network where you can follow the people that are posting as well as broadcast. As far as broadcasting, we've studied this and we train our people on this, and we're going to have incredible help menus that let you know, for instance, that it should be 40 characters exactly at Facebook, and you can increase your interactions by up to 70% versus it being below or above that. It's 100 at Twitter. It's 60 at LinkedIn. If you put up a picture, you could get up to 10 times more interactions than if you put up a post without one. We don't really like video. People don't tend to click on video. And so we've done massive study of what it takes to get interaction. Because without interaction, of course, now that the algorithm at Facebook says that if we don't engage, you don't see my posts anymore. And I don't see yours. Because they want that to be awesome. For the Facebook fan pages, we've been telling people we don't like fan pages for years, but now they've made it not worse, but let's face it, you have to pay for radio, television, newspaper, any other kind of marketing. Why not have to pay to be seen on the fan pages? Now they've reduced that to 2 to 6%. On the personal pages, they've reduced it, but not for a reason of making money from advertising. It's entirely because they want you to be more compelled to stick around at Facebook. And if you engage people, they engage you back. That's more interactions. That's more time to sell ads for Facebook. So on top of just giving you this platform that allows you to send everywhere, multiple Facebook accounts, Facebook personal pages, fan pages, groups, send it to multiple Blogspot, WordPress, Tumblr, LinkedIn accounts, whatever, you can do all of that. You can have sub-accounts. You can't do that anywhere else. But if we make all of that and the timing of it and adding groups that you can send to text, email, Facebook, social, everywhere, with a button click, we've saved you time, hopefully, so that you can take the amount of time it takes to make the correct number of characters in your post and make that picture HD quality and cropped, not just a big thing with 8 feet over your head and it's grainy, right? It all matters. Every bit of it matters.
It most certainly does. The feature that's got me most intrigued is the timing feature that's analysing the best time of day to post. Without giving away all your secrets, can you explain a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, and it's actually not really figuring out the best time of any specific hour in the day. The fact is, guys, and I'll just tell you, it's 5 minutes before the hour. Think about the logic behind this. I'm coming out of a meeting or class, and I look at my news feed from friends, and then I slip it into my pocket for 45 to 55 minutes, and then I pull it out and look between class and go like that. So the time that almost the majority of people in any given hour are on Facebook looking at posts tends to be 5 minutes before the hour. Now, let me say one more thing on that. We saw a U.S. Senate guy who had 1,400 likes on his fan page, and he was posting 2 to 4 views per day. That's all that he would get. 7 was the most. And he called me in the office and said, what are you doing? Are you gaming Facebook? And I said, why? And he said, because we jumped to 200 to 400 views every single post since we started with you. And I said, no, we're just timing your post.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And I asked Scoble. Scoble's like, I don't know if I use this. And I said, Scoble, if you could get 100 times more views, why wouldn't you? Like, well, yeah. Matters.
It's just 10 minutes to the hour. I mean, we could all sit here and try and work out and set our alarm on our phone for 5 minutes to the hour. I got up into my mind. Or we can just jump into Chumly, push it through, click a button, and we know that thing's writing for us.
It is
Absolutely.
And I just gotta say, because you gave me the rundown on it yesterday, and I got in and was playing with it today even, and it's so easy, and it's nice and clean. There's not a lot of graphics, and there's no congestion. It's just the clean feed, and you just put in what you need to put in. Yeah, and it goes everywhere. And so I was posting to one of my WordPress blogs, and it went through with the images and the text, and it's just super simple. And I love the timing. Love the time. You're welcome.
And if you make a mistake, you can hit delete, and it deletes it everywhere.
I did that. I did that today.
Right?
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
Now, the one exception to that, of course, is Facebook. If it goes to a photo album, and you can choose it to go to your wall album, or you can choose for it to update a specific album. And if you want to post it out to yourname.wordpress.com, you can, but you can also send it out to yourname.com powered by WordPress. I'm going to start the timer here, and I'm going to now jump on my camera, and I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to take a selfie.
Okay.
I'm going to take the selfie, and I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to email the selfie, and I'm going to send this to post@chumly.com, and that means go everywhere. I could have said Facebook only or whatever, and I'm going to say having fun, period. And now I'm going to hit send, and I just sent that 10 places.
Wow, that's cool. John, is it going to be...
But it didn't go yet. It'll go in 40 minutes.
Okay, cool. Is it going to be an iPhone app for this, mate? An iPhone app or an iPad app? Can you use it on the phone? Because I use my phone a lot and stuff, you know?
All we have right now is we just thought simple. Our 75-year-olds knew how to use their iPhone, camera, and email, and text. So we said, great, you can send by email to Facebook plus Twitter plus Blogspot at Chumly. Or you can create a group called Veterans and send to Veterans at Chumly, and it'll go out on text and email and social wherever they are. But why not just use it like Posterous? Will we have an iPhone app? Yeah, Android too, probably within 3 to 6 months.
Good one, man. Okay, Jacob, any questions?
Well, I just signed up, and I like what I'm hearing. It sounds pretty good. Are you going to have like Buffer has like a plugin for Chrome?
Sorry, you broke up there. What was that last part?
So what I said, you know, like the Chrome extension like Buffer has, are you going to have something like that?
Oh, sure. So we already do, actually. I'm glad you asked that. We already do. We have a bookmarklet that you can drop into Safari, to Chrome, to Firefox, to Internet Explorer. And all you do is if you're at a news story and you want to share it, you just hit post and go in your browser, and it pulls up the title, the direct link, a short description, and if there was a photo, it includes that. If you wanted to highlight a part of the story and then hit post and go, then that will be the blurb that it shows, or all of the things, rather than just what it grabs off the first paragraph. But yeah, that already exists. I'm glad you asked.
John, what about a Mac app? Is it going to be in a Mac app anytime soon in the future, like an app for the Mac?
A Mac app like an iPhone app?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yeah. So that and Android, 3 to 6 months.
Cool, mate. All right. Any other questions? Kevin?
I mean, my question really is more of a congratulations for having to deal with all of the API stacks of all of the social networks of everywhere. I mean, I know that with my business, Zafo, we have to deal with the Facebook API constantly, and I tell you, it's a pain in the where for you guys, the amount of back-end stuff that you must have to deal with constantly changing, amen to you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. And there's to my 70-year-old father, been programming since 1968, right? Yeah. He's written all 550,000 lines of code for this. 500.
What's his name, John? What's his name?
John.
Wow.
John. Hello, John. Welcome. Well, John, listen to this. Hope he hears this.
No, he's John William. I'm John.
Yeah, the coolest dad.
Yeah. Oh, great.
I love him.
Yeah,
I love
definitely. So, John, how many people work for you for this project? Is it just you and how many people?
Oh, so it's my father and it's me and it's my wife.
Okay.
But we've got 7 engineers in total in Sweden, Finland, Ireland, 2 in Canada, North Carolina, and Texas. And they've been doing quality assurance for us since they first signed up from the first Scobel webcast 5 years ago. Oh. So there's 10 of us, but there's only my dad programming. He's written the whole thing. I do sales and ideas, and my wife does service and support.
Good stuff, John. Good stuff. Now, where can they get hold of you if they want to ask any more questions?
Yeah, if anyone wanted to find me, they always send an email to John at Chumly, CHUMLY.com, and I'm sure to get it.
Good stuff. I'm going to be checking this out today, and sounds good, mate.
Thanks,
Kevin, welcome to the show. Welcome.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, it's great to be here.
And tell us about what you do, Kevin, about your website and stuff.
Well, I run Melby.com. It's a TV and entertainment news website for Australia.
Okay. All right. And you do TV posts and stuff, that sort of... Okay.
Yeah, I post probably 6 or 7 news stories every day about the Australian TV industry, what's going on. A few tech stories, mainly programming stories. But yeah, it's always an interesting space. Always plenty of news happening.
All right. So have you come across any information about the Foxtel IQ3 at all?
The IQ3, look, it's going to... I'm expecting a September launch.
Okay.
Everyone's hanging out for it. It's been such a long way.
I can't wait for it.
And look, it's in the end, it's probably TV's probably moving away from this kind of big set-top box with the big recorders and all of this. But on the other hand, I think a lot of people will really love the function of it and the ability to just manage all of your recordings. This box is going to have something like eight. The ability to record 8 shows at the same time. And so it's going to be great when it comes. I'm also hearing a lot of rumours about the having an app store within the box and the ability to access things like ABC iView and a new template and things like that from within the Foxtel box. So that'll be a great convergence of your online TV and your more traditional broadcast TV. So it's going to be great. The Foxtel team, they've really been moved in the last couple of years. They've been really looking at, they've seen the threat of things like Netflix coming to Australia, and they've been lucky that they've had a couple of years to prepare for it, and they've really sort of been looking outside the box and thinking of what they can do to keep that industry of theirs growing.
Yeah, definitely. What's your view on TiVo Australia when they were around? Did you have a TiVo at all?
I never had a TiVo, and look. Yeah, TiVo came to Australia very late. Their business in America has pretty much come to, it had gone past its peak in the US by the time it had even launched in Australia. And it had the backing of Channel 7 here, but it didn't have a lot of backing from anyone else in the industry. And it was just one of those things that kind of passed us by a bit.
Okay, Andrew, any questions for Kevin?
Yes. Obviously, working in the Australian landscape, what are your thoughts around Australian television content comparatively to the US? I personally think we have quite a strong platform in Australia. What are your thoughts? How do you compare to the US as far as original homegrown content?
We do very well for homegrown content, and it's actually, in a weird way, the last 10 years has been a real transition period for the Australian TV industry, where movies don't rate on free-to-air TV anymore. A lot of the content that used to rate, like your big US TV dramas, your CSIs and shows, NCIS and things like that, things that used to be very consistent high-rating shows on Australian TV, they've all dropped away. piracy and things like that, a lot of that content that used to rate on Australian TV doesn't anymore, and that's forced the Australian broadcasters to go back to things that you can't get through piracy, and that's why we're seeing so much of the reality TV and things being stretched out over 5 nights a week, and a lot of investment in Australian TV drama, things that can't be pirated from elsewhere. That's where the investment's going into now. So no, the Australian TV industry, it's always been a pretty good standard. Yeah, if you, I know John will probably tell you that if you watch a lot of American network TV, sure they have their big shows, but there's also a lot of hours of the day where they've got the home shopping channel on, and the Australian TV industry, it's been pretty good at avoiding that.
Yeah, definitely. What's your favourite show at the moment, Kevin? You like watching on Foxtel or whatever you use?
Oh goodness, Fargo.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Fargo.
Yep.
I like the Game of Thrones is the obvious choice, I suppose. But Silicon Valley. Have we been watching that?
I haven't seen an episode yet. I should.
No, that's a great one for anyone who's a fan of the tech industry. Silicon Valley is just there's so many little references and little in jokes that the people of the tech industry will just pick up and love.
Okay, all right, check it out. Ed, you seen that show before? Have you seen it? That show? Have you seen it?
Me?
Yeah, have you seen it?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but every person I've spoken to ever keeps saying, "Hey, have you seen that Silicon Valley show?" And I'm like,
"Yep,
know it exists. I haven't got it yet." I tend to be one of these people who doesn't download each episode or watch each episode or stream each episode. I like to sort of hold out for 4 or 5, then get the popcorn out and make a night of it.
Yeah, definitely. What's your view on the Foxtel Play, Kevin? Is it worth the money, mate? Is it worth the dollars?
It's pretty good value. It depends what you're into, but if you love your sport, I think it has proved to be quite good value.
Yeah, definitely.
What about Quick Flicks? I mean, we spoke, as you know, Kevin, you listened in last week when we was talking to Stephen from Quick Flicks. I mean, I think they've got a great product, and I think he's a really great guy and doing well with that company. But with Foxtel Play and with, potentially Netflix may come into this market, they're charging $10 a month for, movies, which is a really great entry value price. How do you think they're going to go in the future as things become more and more online? Do you think they'll really ramp up and embrace that?
I hope so. It is such a challenging space, and it's going to get even more challenging. At the moment, I'm expecting Netflix to launch in Australia probably the first quarter of next year. The other thing that we know is happening is that Channel 9 is launching their online streaming service. It's currently got a code name of Streamco. It's going to launch before the end of this year. They're doing a lot of negotiating, a lot of content deals are being done. It's hard to get a lot of facts about it just at the moment, but they're going to launch with a price probably $12 or under. I've also heard that they're going to do a children's only service for a price of $6.95 per month.
Gee.
And we've through the recent court cases, we've learnt that they're in negotiations with Channel 7. They've gone heavily down the road with that, which kind of makes you think that it could be a bit like a Hulu. They're also, we believe, in negotiations with CBS in America, which is interesting because CBS currently has a deal with Channel 10. So that could cause a bit of disruption there. So this new Channel 9 service, it shows a lot of, they're really investing hard in it. It's very interesting to see an old school free-to-air broadcaster that have just, in the back room, in the back office, they've just gone and developed this whole new video on demand service that could really cause some disruption in Australia.
What sort of shows will be on there, and what's it called again? What's it called?
Look, we don't know a name yet. It's got the code name of Streamco.
Streamco.
We don't know a lot about it, but no, look, certainly, Channel 9 has good links with Sony. And if Channel 7 comes on board, that brings in a lot of deals through America and the UK. So it'll be very interesting.
Okay, sounds good. So it'll be like a catch-up sort of service.
Yeah, it'll be their version of Netflix.
So where does this leave Channel 10? I mean, it's no secret that Channel 10 in Australia is in quite a troubling time at the moment. They recently killed their morning show. They've laid off staff. They've got 10 Play, which is effectively their streaming platform. Do you think they're going to be able to keep up and continue in this market, or do you think we'll see them either disappear altogether or end up as an ABC Part 2 under government control?
Oh, I can't see that happening. No, look, Channel 10, you can't underestimate how bad a position they are in at the moment. For the only thing on that network that was rating well was their news service, and in this last week they've just announced that they're sacking pretty well a third of their news staff.
Which is absurd.
I mean, it's criminal, really. And their Melbourne news director has resigned yesterday, faced with having to sack so many of his own staff. He just couldn't handle it and just walked out. Channel 10 is in such a mess at the moment. Future-wise, the network is in such massive debt that they will have to be sold, or there'll have to be a reinvestment and a change of management there sooner or later. They won't go away. A broadcast license is still a valuable thing, and there's still value there, and so they will have to stick around somehow or other. But look, 10 Play, it's good. It's buggy.
It is very buggy.
It's been out for a fair while now, but I'm still constantly finding bugs in the service. Yeah. They've launched a Windows Phone 8 app just in the last week, and they're the only ones I know in Australia who've bothered to invest in Windows Phone. So, I mean, they're trying.
Yeah,
that's kind of bizarre. They're investing in Windows Phone when the wheels are falling off. They're going after something with a couple percent of the market. It makes no sense. Yeah, no,
there's a lot of strange decisions going on there. At the moment.
That they have the Formula One rights for me, which is important. So I'm hoping that they don't end up doing anything too silly with those.
Definitely. Now, Kevin, who's your favourite tech person on Twitter? Who do you follow on Twitter? Mox TV, and he's a good guy. Steve's been on the podcast before, and he's very smart.
Steve's right up with the television stuff. Oh, look, on Twitter, I'm following so many people on Twitter. It's hard to name them all, but I'm always following all of the big international tech bloggers. And
definitely. It's great. I love Twitter. Andrew, what about you? Who's your favourite person on Twitter? You're just getting into
I do like Gary Vaynerchuk. I think he's really open and fluid, and doesn't talk. He's a good New York boy. He doesn't talk a lot of crap.
Yeah.
John, what are your thoughts listening into us talking about Australian entertainment? Do you actually get any Aussie entertainment over there on your US TV at all?
We don't. And, if I think about it, the last thing that was Australian over here was Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, yeah.
And we loved you. We thought you were great. Good day. Shrimp on the ball, mate.
Say it again, John. How do you say it? Say it again, mate. That was good. Say it again.
Oh, was that good?
Yeah, it was good.
Throw another shrimp on the bobby, mate.
I love it.
Oh, wow.
What about you, Steve? What about you? What's your view on all this about Australian TV and your TV situation over there, mate?
Oh, you're talking about mine?
Yeah.
I like foreign TV. I haven't really seen much Australian shows. Of course, I love the UK shows. There's so many, of course. Doctor Who, my all-time favorite since 1978. I'm waiting for the new season to come up. What are some of the big shows there in Australia? I need to really catch some.
There's so many. Kevin, can you name a couple? Big shows?
Well, look, like much of the world, the reality TV is what's dominating the ratings. Shows like The Voice, and there's renovation shows like House Rules and The Block, and these are the ones that are stealing the ratings at the moment. But there's also lots of other things that are going on in the sidelines. If you're talking about Offspring's the great Australian
drama. And that's a Channel 10 one.
Yeah, that's probably about the only good thing that Channel 10's got going for it at the moment is Offspring. If they could stretch it out every week of the year, they'd love to. But sadly for them, it only goes for 13 weeks.
What about Neighbours? Kevin, do you still watch Neighbours?
No, it's been a long time since I've watched Neighbours, but it still does well for them internationally.
Yeah, it does. Neighbours, because they got that over in the UK, Neighbours. They were, yeah. So
Kevin, are you going to have a stream? Do I understand this right? You're starting a streaming company that will compete with Netflix?
Me personally, no. I'm just. I'm just a journalist who talks about these things.
Oh, okay. I got
it. Hey, you never know.
That's okay. I think Kevin was just running through Channel 9 is building a streaming service. Channel 9 is one of probably our most major operator, the NBC, I guess, of Australia. So they've got a streaming service behind the scenes, which there's more and more details coming out, so it's going to be really interesting to see how they go competing with Foxtel, who is the big one in Australia with a set-top unit.
Definitely. Jennifer, what about you over in the US? Do you get many Australian shows, or do you watch much TV?
I would love to see some Australian shows. No, I don't have any. The last Australian thing that I did watch was a film that you told me about, and I forgot what it was, but it was quite funny, and I really enjoyed it. I love Australian music. You guys have some of the best artists.
Who's
and
your favorite artist, Jennifer? Favorite band? Who's your favorite band?
Oh, gosh. That's hard. There's
Please say Silverchair.
What's that?
Please say Silverchair.
Powderfinger, AC.
It's not. It's an indie band. Right now, I'm really into the Mowgli's as of late. But I really love indie rock. But your Triple J station that you guys have out there, I listen to it all the time.
And so Double J too, Jennifer.
They have what? Double J? I haven't even heard of that.
Yeah, it's a new station just came out. It's called Double.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna check that out too. Yeah, you guys.
It's the same as Triple J, but just for the slightly older generation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's really cool that you're listening into Triple J, Jennifer. I did not know that.
I love. That's my favorite station.
You should move to Australia, Jennifer.
I totally should move because everyone there is friendly. You guys have a better way of life.
And
listening to Triple J, I guess you know exactly what's going on in our news and the weather every hour.
Yeah. Like tonight, right after work, I'm Miaming with people in Australia, so it's, not just you, Brad, but, so.
Do you talk to many people in Australia, Jennifer? Who do you talk to in Australia?
It's really just like you, Vin, Andrew, you guys pretty much, and then there was that guy, Josh Saunders. I don't know where he's gone off to, but him as well. And
okay. Jody had to go, Andrew. So
okay. So I think do we have much more to go through, Brad?
Just mention that Foxtel giveaway one more time before we wrap.
Yeah, okay. So David down at Foxtel has been good enough to give us a couple of accounts. It's a 1 month free Foxtel account. So just shoot through a tweet to @TechWebcast and tell us what show you'd like to watch on Foxtel with that account. You will need a credit card. It's a 1 month free, and then if you want to continue, you can. Otherwise, you can just disconnect after that, and it will not cost you a cracker. So have a look at Foxtel Play and let us know what your thoughts are on that product. And we hope you enjoy it.
Definitely. Okay, Andrew, where can they get hold of you, and what's your final view of this episode?
It's been fantastic having Hanna on, and she's gone off to film for Crab Claws, and also Kevin, obviously, and John, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how Chumly.com plays out, so make sure you jump on and grab your @name while it's still available. So thanks, guys, for being on. Really enjoyed it. And if you want to grab me, I am at the Zafo app in the App Store @Andrew, or on Twitter and Facebook @CunningDrew.
Good stuff. You get me on Twitter, Brad. I was on the Tech Webcast. Kevin, what's your final view of this show, and where can they get hold of you, mate?
Oh, look, you can get hold of me on my website, nelby.com. That's NELBIE for all the latest tech news. On Twitter, @KevinPerry.
Good stuff.
And because Hannah's not here, I'll do her plug for her. So if you get on deposable.com, it's project 178939 to
nice one. And
help
she's
back
also
her with her Prince of Seagulls project. She's got $774 already, but she's got a long way to go and only 26 days left. So everyone get behind Hannah.
Definitely. And
Good stuff, Kevin.
She's on Twitter at Hanna Silver too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. John, what about you, mate?
Hey, John at chumly.com, and he said, or you said, come on, get your handle before it's gone.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
God, man, thank you. This was great.
No
I
problem,
really
mate.
enjoyed hanging out with you guys.
Yeah,
Come
it
back
was really good.
anytime. Come back anytime. You too, Kevin. You're more than welcome to come back anytime, mate, if you got a spare.
Fantastic. I'd love to. It's
All
been
right, good
great.
stuff. Steve, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter as Chatterbox_live, and of course the live version of the Tech Webcast here on Justin.tv/LinusCoolDude, and of course you can also see this on Brad's website, techwebcast.info live as well.
Yes, definitely. And Steve, well done on the video, by the way, too, mate.
I tell you what, it's kind of challenging doing it in Skype, but hey,
I'm sure
it works. It works.
We know you're up for it,
great.
Steve.
You're a legend, mate. You're a legend.
I got to wipe
You're a
that
There were no
sweat from my
bandwidth
brow.
issues.
No, that's why it was good today. It wasn't breaking up at all.
Good.
Jacob, what about you? What's your final view of this show?
Hey, I like it. I like finding out new services and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for that new Channel 9 service to come. It's going to be good.
Okay, and you can follow me on Twitter at jazzbot32691Z.
Good stuff. And Andrew, thanks for being on.
Not a problem, Brad. It's fantastic being on each week, and great to talk to really interesting people like Kevin and John.
Definitely. And who's on next week? Steve, who's on next week?
And let me check. Hopefully I downloaded. Oh, jeez.
I think it may be the guy from iMore. I think. Let me check.
I think so, Brad.
Renee Ritchie.
That's him.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check.
One of my favourite people in tech journalism, really. Renee,
definitely.
he's got that. He's a Canadian who just doesn't get caught up in he covering the Apple beat. He just doesn't get caught up in the hype of all the Apple history.
He just tells it like it is.
Tells it like it is. I could listen to Renee talk tech for all day. So I look forward to next week's show.
I think it says Stephen Cooper.
Stephen Cooper.
Yeah, Stephen Cooper.
Stephen Cooper. He's going to be on next week. Going to be on the show. He does some really cool stuff. Yeah.
So where can we get a hold of you, Jennifer?
Oh, you can get a hold of me at jenniferruggiero.com and check out getnerdywithit.com. And Andrew, were your ears ringing last night?
They weren't, but I do have to jump in and have a listen to the show. I haven't heard it yet, so I'm really looking forward to that.
John plugged your app in.
Really?
Plugged Zarfo on the show. Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Best iPhone app there is. Get Zarfo.
Good on you, John.
Hey, John. Good man. Appreciate that. Zarfo in the App Store, ladies and gentlemen. Get your app name while it's there.
Download it. Download it right now.
Amen.
Get it while it's hot.
All right. Thanks, guys, for being on. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Cheers. Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Well, that's it for Tech Webcast this week. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed having your mind expanded. Tune in next week for more tech talk with Brad, Jason, and whatever crazy guest they've managed to rope in. Don't forget to get the Tech Webcast app from iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at Tech Webcast, and of course check us out on Facebook too. Until next time, may the tech be with you. Peace.